Welcome to the Emanations of Light podcast. I'm your host, Audrey, and I am back with another emanation. In today's episode, let's talk about finding your true voice and what this means and why, obviously, it's so important to our spiritual journey and our evolution. But before we begin, if you're new to my podcast, my name is Audrey, and I serve as a Divine Sovereign Ascension guide, healer, and multidimensional artist. And I'll post all my links in the description page if you desire to work with me or purchase any of my sacred malas. Okay, so then, now that that's out of the way, okay, so what does finding your true voice mean? And how do you know what your true voice is? You know, that voice inside that sounds just like you, but is it really? Most don't even question that constant chatter, you know, the judgy voice inside and all of those thoughts rolling around in our heads. You know, the one that replays everything over and over like a broken record. The incessant self-doubt or the anxieties and the worries about life. But what if you knew that the biggest gift you have is the power of knowing who you really are versus those pesky thoughts that come from out of nowhere? You know, they say that the journey from the mind to the heart is the longest journey you'll ever take. And this is true because it's going to require a very intimate connection or reconnection with your soul's essence and not who you think you are. Sacred awakening is like an unraveling of who you're not to awaken to who you really are. So how does such a journey begin, and how do you distinguish between the two? For one, it's important to understand that we are not our thoughts, and our minds are mere like powerful tool. And it's an amazing projector of our innermost dominant beliefs, dominant inner dialogue, unconscious and conscious beliefs we have about ourselves in life. And, you know, unfortunately nowadays, the scary thing is that a lot of people are letting AI think and create for themselves. I mean, talk about giving your most precious power away. And most don't know that you're simply operating from autopilot. And then maybe, just maybe, there's something else to the mix. You know, I want to give an example of what this looks like. So, for instance, just the other day, I was trying to do a little bit of work. You know, I was just minding my own business, when all of a sudden I began hearing and feeling like this pesky voice inside. And then I kind of started feeling all annoyed as well. Then I went to touch the top of my head, and it was hot and it felt really sore. And I was like, oh shoot. I knew something was interfering with me. So I immediately decided to go into meditation and do a quantum clearing on myself. And I have to tell you, whatever energy that was bugging me was big. Because right after my clearing, I had to just lay there for a while, and then I had to take a nap. I just was like zonked, and I just went out. And then, of course, after that, you know, I was back to normal. This is why it's so important to learn to get to know yourself more deeply, because I know I wasn't projecting anything, and I don't have beef with anyone, and I'm alone, so it's not like I was triggered by anything. I wasn't even on social media. I was just minding my own business, just trying to get into creation mode. I was actually trying to create some malas, and I was just getting in my zone. So I just knew it had to be some kind of energy or entity or something. And then who knows, maybe it was a projection from someone. After all, we are all energy, and our thoughts are powerful. And anytime you're sending bad vibes, jealousy, you're gossiping, and you're just hating on anyone or just sending hatred to anyone, it's like you're sending out an army of energetic vampires and daggers to them. And because we're all connected, people feel it, especially as beautiful, highly sensitives, energetic star blossoms. We feel everything. And, this is unknowingly kind of like black magic and spells. And trust me, you don't want to be the recipient of that kind of energy karma. Because at the end of the day, everything that you send out comes back to you 10 times folds. Now, I know most people deep down inside are great and good people. And at the end of the day, we don't want to feel angry, upset with others. And trust me, I've been there. I've had a plethora of baggage and stuff that just came out of nowhere. And it was awful to experience. And I know it wasn't in my divine nature, and I know it's not in most people's divine nature. But the more you understand yourself as the spiritual being, you will comprehend the invisible war and forces that use people against each other. If you're not aware of yourself, your true voice, your heart, you're easily being manipulated by these energetic forces. And they're not good. This is why family members turn against each other. People criticize each other or end up wanting to control others and how they show up, or project their beliefs and opinions about your life, how you're living, how you're not living, all that stuff. But deep down inside, that's not really them, and it's not really you. It's what you're being manipulated by. And if that doesn't scare you, then I don't know, there's something deeper. This is why I love to talk a lot about divine spiritual sovereignty, because it gives you full autonomy over what you're allowing in your mind, your body. And most of all, it gets you off the wheel of suffering, reincarnation, and soul bindings, contracts, the matrix, and more. It gives you back your spiritual power, freedom, your God seed. And you have spiritual authority to send anything that tries to interfere with you and your live stream packing. And that's beautiful. And when you're in this space, you eventually have full autonomy over your mind and your body. You begin to really understand who you are as a spiritual being in this world, what your soul essence feels like, what you came here to learn, experience, and have, you can have a true intimate connection with Mother, Father, God, Source, not the false God, that judgy, condemning one. And I just have to add a side note. If you want to know more about this stuff, my Skool page for the Sacred Awakening Journey is open, where I share many insights, teachings, and emanations on a lot of these topics to help you better understand the Ascension journey. Okay, so now that I got that covered, you might be asking how you can connect to your true self better. How do you know the difference? Well, the best way to connect to your organic soul's essence is by reconnecting through your heart. Our beloved mentor, Stellar Fairborn, has an amazing short meditation on YouTube on how to access your heart, which I'll share on the links below as well. But it's quite simple. Every time you go through your heart, you build trust with yourself, your body, your soul, your essence, right? And then you also create an amazing biofeedback loop with your heart. And as my mentor says, your heart never lies. The voice of your heart, your true essence, is always loving, kind, and compassionate. And really, anything else is not who you are, period. All the other stuff is noise, it's false light, it's projections, wounds, pain, energies, entities, you name it. Your truest self is in there, just waiting for you to reconnect. So the next time you're beginning to feel upset, uncomfortable, angry, whatever it is, this is a great time to stop and ask yourself, whose voice is this? And put an end to the madness. Go straight into your heart and ask the divine to give you clarity, healing, and apply love to yourself and maybe love to others, because love is the medicine and you are love itself. Okay, my beautiful family, that's it for now. And I send you all so much love and blessings. And please do reach out if you need any help. Bye for now. Audrey.